When one tugs at a single thing in nature, he finds it attached to the rest of the world. John Muir. Everything we do in America affects the rest of the world. As a result, one of the most pressing issues in our country is one of the most pressing issues in the rest of the world. Global warming.
The planet's temperature has risen unusually fast, about 1.2 to 1.4 degrees Fahrenheit. Scientists believe it's human activity that's driving the temperatures up, a process known as global warming. Ever since the Industrial Revolution began, factories, power plants, and eventually cars have burned fossil fuels such as oil and coal, releasing huge amounts of carbon dioxide and other gases into the atmosphere.
Is global warming even real? Many still believe that global warming is a myth and that we are just going through another period of time like the Ice Age. 58% of Americans do believe that climate change is a serious problem, and 33% believe it is a very serious problem. But what about the rest? Why don't they believe that global warming is an issue?
The oceans were going to get hot.
Remember
Al Gore in
The oceans are
Remember
hotter.
Al Gore in Inconvenient Truth, waving his arms over the Gulf of Mexico, saying, "If you thought Katrina was bad, you ain't seen nothing yet." We haven't had any serious hurricanes.
You know what we could do? Here's what we can do.
The Florida Keys are supposed to have disappeared by now.
Okay.
According to the Scientific American, most skeptics are not scientists. At the International Conference on Climate Change in 2009, Richard Lindzen, a meteorologist of Massachusetts Institute of Technology, and Fred Singer, founder of the Science and Environmental Policy Project and a big skeptic of global warming, both spoke on their views of global warming. So what does this mean? This means that even though there is evidence suggesting that global warming is real, it is not a big issue to non-scientists. They believe that this is a natural stage that planet Earth is going through and that it won't become a big deal. If we pretend that global warming is just a myth and let it continue, not only will our country suffer, but also the whole world will suffer the consequences as well.
If the world warms by 1 degree, the Arctic is ice-free for half the year, opening the legendary Northwest Passage for ships. Tens of thousands of homes around the Bay of Bengal are flooding. Hurricanes begin hitting the South Atlantic. Severe droughts in the western U.S. cause shortages in global grain and meat markets. This could be our world plus 1 degree. If the world warms by 6 degrees, from a distance, the oceans may appear bright blue, but they are marine wastelands. Deserts march across continents like conquering armies. Natural disasters become common events. This could be our world plus 6 degrees.
Where is the evidence that suggests that global warming is a real issue? For starters, the Earth's average temperature has risen 2.5 degrees Fahrenheit since the 1750s. It has risen 1 degree in 200 years and 1.5 degrees in the last 60 years. About 10% of Arctic ice has melted in the last 30 years. Marine life is decreasing as the surface water becomes warmer. According to National Geographic, the ocean temperature has risen 0.18 degrees Fahrenheit in the last century. Although this does not seem like much, soon it could get out of hand. 1998 was the warmest year recorded in global history, with 2006 in second place. Carbon dioxide levels are increasing and methane levels have also reached their highest point in thousands of years, according to the United States Environmental Protection Agency. Scientists believe that the greenhouse gases that humans have used since the Industrial Revolution have been magnifying the greenhouse effect, the process where heat gets trapped in our atmosphere. Not only has the average temperature risen, but also we have been seeing many more frequent natural disasters recently, such as Hurricane Sandy. This may not seem like a huge deal for our strong country, but the headline of the Huffington Post on November 1, 2012 read, "Hurricane Sandy's economic damage could reach $50 billion, Equicat estimates." As the storms become more frequent and harsh, America will have to spend more and more money because of the disasters. After Hurricane Sandy hit New York Governor Andrew Cuomo announced climate change is a reality. What can we do to relieve global warming and its future consequences?
What we actually need is a simple, honest, gradually rising price on carbon emissions. And then that could stimulate the economy if the money is given to the public so that they will have the wherewithal to make the changes in their lifestyles. Then we could phase out fossil fuel emissions over the next several decades.
Germany and Great Britain have already reduced a bit of their fossil fuel emissions. As America, the country that the world watches and looks up to, shouldn't we reduce our emissions to set the example for the rest of the world? When we take action, the world will follow our lead. That's why we need to keep pushing to reduce our emissions. If we get rid of excess energy released in our homes and take shorter showers and power off our electronics, we could eliminate 18 coal-fired plants. Changing regular light bulbs to a compact fluorescent one can save 150 pounds of carbon dioxide a year. We can save up to 2,400 pounds of carbon dioxide by recycling half of the waste in your house. You can save landfill space, resources, and energy by doing this and purchasing products that are made with recycled materials. Using less hot water can save a lot of energy. According to energy.gov, if you set your thermostat to 68 degrees Fahrenheit or lower in the winter and 78 degrees or warmer in the summer, carbon dioxide emissions can be reduced greatly. If you can walk easily to a place, don't take your car. You will save 1 pound of carbon dioxide for each mile you do not drive. Instead of chopping down trees, plant a tree and it will store carbon dioxide. When you aren't using your electronics, turn them off. Last but not least, alert others to the issue we are facing and help to make sure that everyone is aware of the problem. If America does its part as a whole, we can ultimately reduce the threat of the overhanging dilemma they call global warming.